First off, I just want to give a quick thank you to everybody that's left comments and requested a tap handle that they wanted to have featured or a beer that they were wondering about what the tap handles look like. That's super helpful for me to know, and I'm excited to go through my collection, see what I can find, so I can provide you guys with a little bit more information about them. The first one that I'm starting out with is Coors Banquet. I do want to do a little bit of a caveat with this particular tap handle. This is one of the Coors Banquet tap handles. There's a number of different ones. I'm going to try and find a few other ones that I have. I know that I have at least one other one, or I should still have at least one other one. But I'm going to start out with this one. I've also had requests for Three Floyd's Gumball Head. I'm going to get around to that in the next couple of days, and I've also had a request for Select 55. If there's other taps that you want me to feature that I didn't just mention, just leave a comment anywhere on one of my videos, and I'll put it on the list of items to cover. This particular one is a Coors Banquet tap handle. Let's get a close-up here. So this does have some nice little details. You'll see right there that it says Coors Banquet Beer, and it's got little like a EST and a date that we have there. I think I can't quite make that out. Maybe I'll have to look at that a little bit closer. It's got the lion emblem, so that's a classic design icon that they have that there. And then this appears to be a waterfall item. So just a lot of like little details that you have on this particular one. With this one, there's a couple of things to note with it. So it does have this wonderful bright shiny gold color, which is cool looking. Just overall, it is a cool looking tap handle, and it's got this area here where it kind of goes in and then comes back out. You will notice that if you look on the side, it's got this little marking line there. And as I've mentioned in some of my other videos, that will normally tell you a little bit about the production. That means that you're dealing with some sort of a plastic tap handle typically, or sometimes it'll be like a light cast resin. This one is something that I believe is just a plastic material. I don't know everything about the material, but I'll touch on that in a moment. You do have the design repeated on both sides, so you'll see right there, Coors and Coors, and it is both the same. So there's not really any difference between it on either side, but it does look pretty good, and it's also worth noting that all of the ones I've seen so far of these are in pretty good shape. So you typically won't see a lot of damage. Sometimes you'll see a little bit of wear on the actual handle itself if it's been heavily used, but normally it's not that bad. Now we'll get to the bad part about this particular tap handle, and it is with the threading. So you'll notice right here that it looks like fairly normal threading there. However, it's worth noting that this does not go onto items very easily. So I don't know if it's a slight variation from the 3/8/16 threading, or if they actually did an alternate threading on that. I'll try and get back to people on that and see if I'm able to determine how off it is. But the big thing with it is that it's not easy to get a regular 3/8/16 threaded item in there. So you'll notice here, I'm going to do a quick demonstration here. This is one of the bottle opener adapters that I do. And you'll notice here it starts to thread in all right. And then I run into a little bit of resistance here. And so you kind of can force it in. And it's the same thing with a lot of the other threading for this particular tap. And another thing as well is there's something about the plastic or the material that they used for it where it doesn't give you a lot of like leeway to get that in. Sometimes you'll find that with certain threading, if you kind of wiggle with it or work with it a little bit, you'll be able to get it working. With this one is typically very finicky. I don't know if other people have found the same thing, but it's worth calling that out. And because of that, if you just want to have something for general decoration, this is not that bad. But if you're actually looking to use it on a tap, you looking to use it on something where it's going to be using that threading, it's not ideal. And I'd recommend going for one of the other Coors Banquet tap handles instead.